my name is Amy. Welcome to the Amoretti Test Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a bread pudding. This recipe is great because it is so simple. There's only 7 ingredients. Today we're going to be making a drunken bread pudding in celebration of St. Patrick's Day. Our flavorings are our Amoretti Irish cream syrup and our Amoretti crema di caramel syrup. And these flavors are interchangeable, and you can switch it up and customize it for any holiday or add your own special flair to it. Now to our ingredients. 2 whole eggs, 4 egg whites, a half cup Amoretti Irish cream syrup or 15 pumps, 2 cups of almond milk, Amoretti crema di caramel syrup, 2 teaspoons of Amoretti Madagascar bourbon vanilla extract. We have a pinch of salt and 2/3 loaf of raisin bread. So before you get started, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're going to want to slice your bread into cubes, and we have our pre-sliced bread here. And I cut it into pretty small cubes because it's going in a ramekin, which is a pretty small container. If you're using a larger baking dish, then you can slice it into bigger cubes. And you can use many different kinds of bread for bread pudding. You can use croissants, baguettes, you can use old pastries or sourdough bread. It's really unlimited. And the tradition of making bread pudding was started in a spirit of not wasting food. And it's usual to use day-old bread, which has dried out a little bit. So if you're using fresh bread, you're going to want to bake it in the oven for about 5 or 10 minutes just so it dries out. And the purpose of that is so it soaks up all the custard, which is the pudding component of our recipe. So now we're going to get started making our custard with all of our wet ingredients. Using Irish cream syrup as our flavoring in celebration of St. Patrick's Day. But Amoretti literally has over 100 flavors of syrup, so you could make this in 100 different ways. And this is a traditional Irish dish. I'm going to be using almond milk today, but you can use whole milk. Here is our Amoretti Irish cream syrup. We have our eggs, 2 whole eggs, and 4 egg whites. We have our Amoretti vanilla Madagascar bourbon extract, and a little bit of salt. And you can also use a blender. When I'm at home, sometimes I use a blender on the lowest setting. And you can also use a whisk like we're going to do today. It just takes a little more elbow grease. So we've added our breadcrumbs to the ramekin, and now we're simply going to pour the custard into the dish and make sure that all the breadcrumbs are fully saturated with the custard. And you can let them settle, you can push them down a little bit and make sure that they're all fully soaked. And then we'll place the ramekin in a larger baking dish that's filled with water. And the purpose for doing this is so that when it bakes, it doesn't get dried out. It's going to help it retain a lot of moisture. And lastly, we're going to bake it in our 350-degree oven. So now we have our finished product. It's our bread pudding. And we're going to top this off with our Amoretti crema di syrup. And our crema di syrups are thicker and creamier and can be used straight out of the bottle. They're a perfect topping. They're the cherry on top for this bread pudding. And here we have it. Thank you so much for joining us. For more details on the recipe, head over to our blog, amorettiblog.com, and have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day.